So I think what we were talking a little bit about was kind of boat on boat tactics, or why you would want to jibe and where you'd want to jibe downwind, because I think sometimes when people are first learning about sailing windward leewards, they tend to just go up to windward, hoist the spinnaker on the leeward side, do one jibe, come to the bottom mark, do a leeward drop, and then do it all again. So what makes it more interesting downwind with tactics? And
well, the obvious thing is you want to be inside boat at the mark, so that would be a good reason for jibing early to get over to the favoured side.
So as in, because we often have a gate at the bottom as well, don't we?
Well, if you've got a gate, then different options.
Yeah, so maybe just talking through some of the options would be quite good. So say you've come round and you've borne away and you've got your spinnaker up. What's the kind of things that you're thinking through here?
Well, there's usually a favoured mark at the gate. In fact, there nearly always is. It's rare that it's just even.
So if it was like this, then it wouldn't matter which way you went. But it could matter
depends
depending
what the
on
tide's doing,
tide
of course.
and
You know, on the fourth, you're always heading round marks with a view to going towards favoured tidal side.
and it could be that there's more wind on one side or the
Yeah.
other,
Yep.
or the
So that sort of tactic is going to dictate your approach to the windward mark itself quite often, in fact.
And what the sort of last shift that you get at the windward mark might dictate what you want to do. If you've got a big lift coming into the mark on starboard, you're maybe going to be thinking about doing an early jibe to keep
You're
yourself.
just going straight back on the lift.
Yeah, going straight back down on it to keep yourself.
so that would mean, so say the wind had swung, so if you were getting lifted here, the wind would have swung that way a little
Yeah.
bit, which means you'd be able to point higher up round the mark, which means by the time you jibe, that's then not the favoured jibe, so you'd want to jibe quite quickly. Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So
Keep
then
yourself sailing closer with a better angle straight to the mark.
so if the wind had swung this way a bit, you're much better on port tack.
If the wind had swung again, one of this mark here is going to be the favoured bottom mark, so again, all the more reason to jibe early.
So it's quite important at the start of the race to try and work out if the wind is oscillating or just persistently changing. Because if it's oscillating and it's going to swing back, then maybe the one on the left might be better by the time you get there. But if it's just continuing around to the right hand side of the board, then that's going to affect your next upwind beat as well.
So the same way that you would play wind shifts going upwind, so if you were going upwind and the wind was like this, everything was equal, you were going along like this and the wind swung that way, you'd stay on this tack because you're getting a lift. But if the wind swung this way, you'd want to tack because then you'd be pointing closer to the mark on the other side. So the same thing downwind, if you notice the wind swinging around, you would jibe on the shifts downwind as well then. And it seems as though it's a bit more difficult to see the downwind shifts. What's the best way to spot them?
Through the kite, I guess.
Yeah.
You can tell through the kite because if the kite is collapsing in on you, then you're getting headed. So you're having to point further down so you know they're on the right jibe. But if it's doing the opposite, then you'll be able to tell whether you're getting lifted up.
Right.
Then you'll want to be thinking about taking your jibes. It's all through the kite.
Right.
And a lot of the stuff through downwind is the communication between the helm and the trimmer is paramount at that point because they're constantly talking about it. Someone mentioned it at VMG earlier. That's a big thing to what dictates what angle you sail downwind is how much weight is in the kite sheet.
What's the BMG?
Velocity made good. So that kind of dictates that, I think.
So say you were
Just a fancy term for getting in the direction of the bottom mark in the quickest fashion. Whether it's up and fast or slow and square.
Talk me through the weight in the sheet.
Well, if the more you play with the spinnaker, the more wind you get used to the idea. If it's really, really heavy, you'll be telling the helm that you've got a lot of weight in the sheet, and he can then think about bearing off and try to
Absolutely.
slow it down for a bit more pressure. But if he's doing that and you start losing the spinnaker, you need to ask him to head back upwind a wee bit again. So it's just there's kind of constant dialogue, or there should be constant dialogue between the helm and the person trimming the kite.
So I mean, one of the things I know that I do, and Stuart and I were talking about this at the beginning of the night, just at the bar when we came in, is I use a lot of tiller going downwind, and you'll probably see my boat doing this all the time, going downwind. And that's because if there's any waves, I'm playing the waves. If there's any wind shifts, I'm playing the wind shifts. I'm talking to the trimmer to get the best out of that.
And I always thought, because you stood up and weren't paying attention.
But that's an interesting point, because I do stand up, and I stand up on the leeward side typically, and I stand up on the leeward side, so I've got the tiller in front of me. And I remember last week I was talking about I don't have the tiller waving around. I actually sit on it when I'm going upwind. So I try and use less tiller when I'm going upwind, but when I'm going downwind, I'm actually using my body weight and holding onto the spinnaker, onto the main sheet. I usually take the back two bits of rope on the main sheet, so that I essentially got one piece of rope from the boom, so that I can both steady myself when I'm stood up, but also if there's an appropriate wave, then I can do that one pump per wave thing, and I'll eke the boat through the waves. So I'll pull the boom towards me for a pump, and I'll push the tiller as I'm moving my body weight over to the higher side at the same time. So I'm kind of constantly working that, and that's something.
So in a wave, so if you saw a wave kind of picking the boat up, would you then bear away down the wave and
Yes.
pump the mainsail once to get a bit of speed so that you surf off down the wave?
Yes,
Right.
and the reason being for that, so that if I can get some leeward ground on a wave, then it gives me an opportunity when I'm going a bit slower to point a bit higher, and then get a bit more pace. So I'm constantly, and sometimes the crew are getting upset with me because I'm sailing a bit by the lee. But I'm quite happy to sail by the lee sometimes, because it gives me an opportunity. If I can get myself to the left or to the right of the leeward mark that I want to go to, but I know I'm sailing myself by the lee, but I know that I can then point the boat up a little bit and get that last little scoot into the leeward mark with a bit of pace, then I've just created some options. So that's what when I'm sailing downwind. If I don't have any threats. So I guess if I don't have a threat right behind me, then I'll be doing this all the time. When I do have a threat behind me, I'll still try and do that, but I'll try and make sure I'm just to windward of them. But I'll always try and eke it down and try and force that person to come down with me. If that person tries to get on top of my wind, then I need to make a decision as to, do I want to keep going this way, or actually do I want to go up this way and protect my position? And that's something that then becomes a very, very considered thought as to, what's that boat doing, what's the manoeuvre we want to do at the next mark, where do I want to be, what's my wind position that I want to be in, i.e. do I really want to defend this buoy or do I want to defend this one? And that's the type of thing that's going through my mind. And I'm going to listen to Stuart and what goes through his mind when we get like this, because it wouldn't be the first time that Stuart and I have been that far apart to scale. We've probably been a couple of inches apart at times, sailing downwind. Literally, we're going the same speed, and then one boat will just get up a little bit, but then slow down, and then try the other way, and we're really on each other's wind. There's a lot of when you bear in mind when you're going downwind, the shadow that the spinnaker and the mainsail create goes up to 5 to 10 boat lengths ahead of you. So the further away you are, the less you're affected. But obviously, the closer you are, the more you're affected. But it's amazing how close 707s can sail without being affected too much, depending on which way the wind's blowing. So the wind's just blowing off the quarter there. You can actually almost sail that close to each other for quite a long time.
It's always a fascinating thing that that happens at times.
Yeah.
Must be the way the wind sort of actually funnels round the rake of the boat behind.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can be the boat behind, and rather annoyingly the boat in front just keeps on sailing.
That's right. Yeah. And it's interesting because sometimes I'll wait till we get closer to the mark before I want to make my move. So if I'm behind Stuart here, then I'll try and sit there on his leeward quarter all the time, so that I'm not giving him any threats. Although I'm trying to defend this side, so I'm trying to not make him go to this side. I'm trying to keep him on the left-hand side. But equally, if I'm on his wind, he's going to get upset, and he's either going to come up lots or he's going to jibe off and disappear.